Hey guys, what's up? Books Nelson here, and I wanted to talk real quick about this drop and the stuff that the community can do about it. So first, let's go over the landscape, and yeah, pro pass, yada yada. We don't really care about that. Hopefully Zion's cool, and hopefully James Harden's cool, and they give him. He just needs 1 or 2 SIGs to be truly elite at the Galaxy Opal level, so he should be good. But the real problem is obviously the Wild West drop, where the Opals are only in packs. So basically 2K is going back on its model. They're changing their model mid-season. That's what's happening, right? So they're changing their financial model mid-season from you can buy anything to you have to open packs. Obviously, had they launched this would have been a disaster at the beginning of the year. But since they're doing it mid-year, people are already in the game. And quite frankly, a lot of people are actually enjoying the game. Despite what you hear, a lot of people enjoying the game. Most people I talk to are overall enjoying the game. 2K is never perfect, and MyTeam is less perfect than going into the wreck with your friends, in my opinion. But people are enjoying the game, and now that they're enjoying the game, and they're already built a team and invested their time, and they've gotten attached to certain players on their team and attached to the experience of getting cards, now the model is changing, most likely because they haven't met their financial expectations. So what's the model now? For those of you who don't know, Troy Dan, you opened up 1 billion packs, didn't get Kareem, and that's why you're opening packs, because all the opals will be replaceable. But if you get one of these 100 overall cards, you have a reasonably significant competitive advantage if you invest into the skill necessary to use all of the advantages that that card provides, right? Quite frankly, Kareem is 2 or 3 or 4 steps ahead of the next best center in the game until the Shaq comes out. And despite that, Kobe Bryant is literally at this very moment the best 2 guard in the game. Kobe's in these packs to get people to pull because there's a good chance the rest of these opals aren't even that good. Maybe D-Rob gets a SIG that puts him in that same group right under Shaq with the Jokic's and Miles Turners of the world. And he can play center, but he's not going to be Kareem. He's not going to be Shaq. This is to get people to go into their wallets. And this is obviously very bad for the community because what has happened, 2K has doubled down on this model. Last week, pretty much everybody emptied or drastically reduced all of their currency, like VC, MT, trying to get this Kareem by whatever way necessary, or trying to get the LeBron, right? Which was, he's best small forward in the game, probably still after this drop. I thought even the Diamond LeBron was slightly underrated despite the fact that he was at the top of a lot of people's tier list. So the new LeBron with better SIGs and a faster jumper is going to be even that much better. So people were ripping packs to get that stuff. They lost their currency, and now they basically have no MT. There's nothing happening during the week because it's the end of the season, so there's no way to build up the MT. And they're going into another money grab drop with 0 currency. So what do you have to do? You got to go into your bank account, buy VC, and gamble. And if you're not Troy Dan, who has 3 million, 4 million subscribers, something like that, not including Twitch, you don't have $1,800 to throw at one card, which is really what you're doing. You're throwing it at one card. Because quite frankly, I'm sure this Kobe is going to be great, and Kobe is 1 or 2 SIGs away from being a demon. He's already the best 2 guard in the game, so he has no competition. So it's kind of irrelevant, right? Like, unless you literally run up against this Kobe Bryant card, if you already have the old Kobe, you have the best card in the game. And there are cards that can compete and defend that Kobe and all other stuff. Point being, you're really pulling for the Shaq. All of these opals will be replaceable in the next drop or the drop after that. No problem. The Shaq and the Kareem are end game cards, literal end game cards, right? These are the best versions, and we haven't seen Shaq's stats yet. But if Kareem is the model, that's like the best version of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar basically ever, right? Like, there's no way to go from 100 overall Kareem. They maxed him out halfway through the game cycle. So, and obviously this is not feasible. People cannot go into their wallets and have any chance, even if you spend $100, $200, $300, $400, there's a very good chance, mathematically great chance, that you do not pull this Shaq, right? So what can the community do? You guys are not going to like this solution, but I promise you, it's the one thing that would make a difference. Boycotting the game would not be it, right? Not pulling packs. I mean, if you didn't, I don't recommend you pull packs, but a pack boycott, it's not going to do anything because the people who are spending that kind of money, most of them are going to do it anyway, because quite frankly, they're addicted. They're addicted to gambling. Like, they can't help themselves, right? So, the rush of pulling the card is too much for them. So what can the community do? There's actually two solutions. The first solution is something that has been happening in other games forever, right? It's less common now, but before patches were the thing that people were doing all the time, when something was broken in the game and the community was like competitive, they would just ban it in the community and say you're not allowed to use that character. Now, obviously, unless you're running tournaments, which we'll get to later, you can't ban these 100 overall cards. But what you can do as the overall community is you can ban the use of the card, what we would call a soft ban, which is basically if you see the card, immediately quit out of the match. I'll tell you why this works, because the math is in your favor. See, if you don't pull packs, you shouldn't pull packs, but like, if you don't pull packs, or you don't want to pull packs, or you want to boycott the game, you want to move to My Career, which I recommend, or you move to a different game. If you're not enjoying this game, I do recommend just play another game. I've recommend that for any game, but that's still your personal decision, right? That doesn't affect the people who are pulling packs, the whales. The community has to start taking its power back. And how do you do that? You affect the whales. See, the thing is, when the whales buy packs, that's all on them. When you buy packs or don't buy packs, that's all on you. But when the whales meet you in Unlimited or Triple Threat Online and Clutch Time, and you either immediately quit or you just put down your controller until the game is over, that is a community ban that affects everyone, right? Because the thing is, with the odds of these cards coming out, there's not that many people that have it, right? So it's not like you're going to be quitting every single game you play. You're only going to be quitting the games where you see this card. And what's going to happen is the experience of most people who have this card is going to be, well, this card's useless online because every time I go online, people just quit on me. I actually never get to use the card. And then the whales, I mean, they might keep pulling the cards, but they're definitely going to complain to 2K about, you got to do something about these people, blah, 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 blah. And that controversy alone will force change in the community, or at least give it a very, very good chance. That, I think, is the best course of action. And honestly, in that course of action, the more you hate the cards, the more you play, the more you ban these cards from the competitive environment, the more it affects the bottom line and the people pulling these cards, because they're having a bad experience. And think about this, human nature. If you spent hundreds or $1,000 or whatever getting this Shaq or getting this Kareem, you put a Shaq and Kareem in the backcourt, Shaq can play power forward, ridiculous, right? And then you go online and 9 out of 10 matches is a quit. For the first week, that's going to feel awesome. You're going to be like, yeah, my team's so good that people are quitting against me. Week 2, when you haven't gotten any games every time that card's in the game, you're going to start to complain because you spent all that money just to not play the game, right? And as much as people want easy wins, they don't want forfeits to that level. They want to earn the forfeit, and not getting to play the game is not fun, objectively, to people who want to use these cards and do stupid things to you with these cards. So that's solution number 1. The more you hate the card, play more. Flood the streets with people who hate this policy, and as soon as you see that Shaq or that Kareem, get out of the match, either by quitting, or if you're out of quits, just put the controller down, watch Netflix, watch YouTube, and that person has to sit there and have the most boring experience of their lives and either quit themselves or deal with that, which is actually even worse. I know it sucks for you because you're sitting in a boring game. I mean, you're not really doing anything. You're just kind of walking away and occasionally tapping the X or the A button to inbound the ball. But this is a thing to do to force to use your power as a player, as a community. This is how you can use your power. And there's many, many, many more people who dislike this than people who are going to pull this card. That's solution number 1. Solution number 2 is a long-term thing that you guys can do more today, that the top of the community is doing, that actually SimNation is doing. hold your own tournaments. Get into Discords, hold tournaments, set tournament rules, obviously ban this card, whatever other rules you think is appropriate in your community, right? And play those games against each other and have a good time. And trust me, this is way more fun than going on to Unlimited and raging at people running around in circles and off-balling and all this other stuff that you guys hate. That's the solution. Have your own community, take the power back, play the game the way you and the people who think like you want to play the game. I promise you there are enough people that you guys will be playing all the time. And quite frankly, I think after just a short time, this will be how you prefer the game. You guys will be in 2K25. Like, say, hypothetically, if you took my advice and you guys just starting today, got in Discords, went in, started holding tournaments, who cares about the pack drop? Here's the lineup rules. Here's the gameplay rules. And then you ran tournaments. I promise you, 2K25, you're going to be demanding 2K do things to give you the fun that you're having on your own versus the miserable time of going into Unlimited and getting, mid rewards for consistent online play. Only thing is you can't complain if you don't have the discipline to change your behavior. If you're just forced because of the dopamine release to go in here and buy these packs and, get that rush and only play Unlimited because that's where real players are and blah, 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 whatever you think, if that's your mindset, then I'm going to be real with you. You're what they call a pay pig, right? The 2K, you're one of 2K's little pay piggies. You can't change what you're doing for your own benefit. That's if you don't like it. If you like it, if you're just like, I like gambling and I like the fact that there's broken cards in the game, no shade. Everybody has every right to like video games any way they want. But if you don't like it, I just gave you the two solutions that I can almost guarantee you would change how 2K is acting in these policies. Because they want people's money, but they know that if the people spending the most money are having a bad experience, that those people will stop spending money. And that's a risk that will bite them sooner rather than later. Do you really think that the whales can go all year getting soft banned by the community? Of course they can't. Of course they can't. So that's your solution, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay safe out there, protect those wallets. And for those of you enjoying the game, I'll see you in those streets. And for those of you curious about my career, if you want, I can make a video about how to get into my career if you're a MyTeam player. And for everybody else who has supported me on the @MeBro channel, appreciate you. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.